Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. So the discussion we were discussing is what if before this, remember we saying we were discussing, najasat, etc. What is najis? What is pak? What is clean? What is najis? So obviously this under that comes the discussion of my musta'mal, water that is used either for ghusl or either for wudu. And we need to qualify here. We're speaking about that water that is used for ghusl or wudu, but it was not contaminated with any najasat. You removed all type of najasat from your body. You removed the najasat from your body before you use it, right? So now you use it to make wudu, you use it to make ghusl, etc. What is the hukum of this water? Can you make another wudu with it? Can you make another ghusl with it? What can you do with this water, right? So the discussion started already yesterday. This is where we stopped. وقال محمد وهو رواية عن أبي حنيفة. The opinion of Imam Muhammad is, whilst وهو رواية عن أبي حنيفة is also one opinion of Imam Hanifa. It means also attributed to Imam Hanifa. وطاهر غير طهور, that it is pure. That means tahir means if it comes on your clothes, if it comes on your prayer of salah or your place of prayer, for example, you you made wudu, and after you made wudu there were some drops on you. So imagine those who says najis. That means that drops that fall off onto your musalla, means your musalla becomes najis. How difficult isn't that opinion? Very, very difficult opinion. So it's this opinion say it is tahir, it is pure in itself, right? غير طهور, but it does not have the ability to purify something else. And I qualified the statement yesterday. I said it does not have the ability to purify something else means from hadath, but yes, to purify something from a physical najasat, there it can do that. Why? Because I told you to remove a physical najasat, it requires it to be physically removed. And this water, despite it not having the ability to remove hadath akbar and hadath asghar, etc., it has the ability to what? To physically remove najasat, like how you get rose water, vinegar, or whatever, right? Now they're saying the reason why we say it is not impure لأن لاقى يلاقي الملاقاة, right? لأن ملاقاة الطاهرة لا يوجب التنجس, because let's see if everything's okay. I see the I let people on. I don't want go leave it and come back. ملاقاة الطاهر ملاقاة الطاهر الطاهرة لا يوجب التنجس. The meeting of a pure thing with a pure thing does not will not physically contaminate it. How is that water before you use it? It was pure. It was 100% pure, right? And your limb, your hands, your feet, whatever, it was not impure. It was not impure. So what's the reason why it needs to become najis? There's no reason for it to become najis. You got a pure thing meeting a pure thing. Like you say here, if this desk is pure here and water falls on this desk here, there's no najis on this desk. Does that mean the water must become najis? No, the water won't become najis. You understand what I'm saying? The same thing here. Your arms are pure, your arms are clean. There's no reason for it to become najis. All right, carry on. إلا أنه أقيمت بقربة فتغيرت صفته كمال الصدقة. So there is saying, so okay, we say it's pure, pure, etc. But why you say you can't make another wudu with it? Why do you say you cannot use it to remove another hadath asghar? Why do you say you cannot use it to remove another hadath akbar? They give reason. إلا أنه, because أقيمت به قربة, it has been used to establish. Qurbat means an act of virtue. It has been established, right? Okay, right? فتغيرت صفته. So its quality of removing hadath will be lost because it's already been used to remove hadath before. It's already been used to obtain reward, right? Right? Kamari sadaqati, and we discussed this, like, you know, if when you take your zakat money out, right? Physically, if you look at the zakat money, there is no fault on it. But it is, you cannot give that to the family of the Al of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why can't you give it to the Al of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Because it is there to purify your wealth. So it is spiritually contaminated. So because it is spiritually contaminated, it is not good enough for the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So same thing here. So we see something, it can be abstractly or incorporeal contaminated, whilst it is not physically contaminated. If you look at that money that you take out sadaqah and you give to the poor, there's no physical contamination. But it is not good enough for the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam because it has been spiritually contaminated. So the same thing we say here, that this money, or rather this water, there is no physical contamination. Hence, if it touches your clothes, your place of prayer, it will not contaminate it. But it lacks ability to remove hadath because it is, you can say, hukman, which we say is abstractly been contaminated. So, right. إلا أنه قيمت بقربة فتغير صفته كمال الصدقة. Then here's another opinion of Imam Hanifa. This is the preferred opinion of Imam Hanifa. وقال أبي حنيفة وأبو يوسف. This is difficult opinion. هو نجس. You got najasun or najisun? Huh? Najisun. That makes more sense. I got najisun. This is how we know the word. Yeah, according to this opinion, it is actually najis. Meaning, when you say it's najis, it means like how urine is najis, like how feces is najis. That means after you make wudu, that water get on your clothes, it gets onto your prayer mat, it will contaminate you, right? And what's the reason? This is the reason. لقوله عليه السلام لا يبولن أحدكم في الماء الدائم ولا يغتسلن فيه من الجنابة ولا يغتسلن فيه من الجنابة. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that none of you, remember you get ahad and it is preceded with a negative adatu nafi, ma, la, the just says none, right? So none of you should urinate, la yurinna ahadukum fil ma'i da'imi, in stagnant water. ولا يغتسلن فيه من الجنابة, and neither should he bathe in it from janabat. So what's our reasoning? Our reason is this here. If removing janabat, which is hadath akbar, did not affect the water, did not contaminate the water, then Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam would not instruct you not to bathe there. If it did not affect the water at all, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam would allow you to bathe in there. The fact that he is telling you you should not bathe in the stagnant water shows you that bathing in there from janabat, it does affect the water. Is that clear? Right. So, وَلَا يَغْتَسِلَنَّ فِيهِ مِنَ الْجَنَابَةِ. So this is his reason to show that the water that is used to remove hadith akbar, hadith asghar, it actually becomes najis. It actually becomes najis. Then the next reason also is pretty simple. He's saying, look here, if this water is used to remove najasat hukmiyah, najasat hukmiyah means not a physical najasat, but a physical najasat, right? It is a abstract najasat like hadith akbar and hadith asghar, etc. If it is used to remove that and it becomes, it loses its ability to purify something, then obviously it will become najis. Because you removed a najasat with it. You understand what I'm saying? Even though it is najasat hukmiyah. See, وَلِأَنَّهُ, because ma is water, أُزِيلَتْ بِهِ النَّجَاسَةُ الْحُكْمِيَّةُ, a abstract najasa has been removed from with it. فيعتبر بماء أزيل به النجاسة حقيقية. So it is comparable, يعتبر, to be considered comparable بماء, with that water أزيلت به النجاسة الحقيقية, where physical najasat has been removed with it. So I told you this is the main opinion, the most authentic opinion of Hazrat Imam Abu Hanifa, that my musta'mal becomes najis. Even though you just made wudu with it, or even though you just made ghusl with it, and there was no najasat on your body, still the water becomes najis. This is the strongest authenticated opinion of Imam Hanifa. But fortunately, the fatwa is not given on this. I told you that a great deal of haraj. After you make wudu, that water drops on your clothes. After you make wudu, that water falls on your musala, it all becomes najis, right? So this is the strongest opinion of Hanifa, but the fatwa is not given on it. Then, ثم في رواية حسن عن أبي حنيفة. Then there's another riwayat of Imam Hassan bin Ziyad from Imam Hanifa. Remember I told you before that the opinions of Imam Hanifa, Imam Yusuf and Muhammad, which is contained in the 6 books, Jamil Sahir, Jamil Kabir, Sirul Kabir, Sir Sahir, Riyadat al-Mafsud, that is called the Zahiru Riwayah. That is by default the fatwa, right? But then the other students, besides the Imam Muhammad, like Hassan bin Ziyad, etc., they also correlated the opinions of Imam Hanifa, right? But their opinions will have second stage, second tier. Why? Because they never spend as much time in the company of Imam Hanifa as Imam Muhammad. So we always give preference to the Zahiri riwayat, which is narrated on the authority of Imam Muhammad. So here we can see we have a riwayat which is not from Imam Muhammad. So it is called Nawadir. What is it called? So Zahir is the 6 books and Nawadir from or Ghair Usul, you can even call it Ghair Usul. So here we got the riwayat. So remember I told you that the default ruling is that always you give fatwa on the Zahir riwayat of Imam Abu Hanifa. Yes, the other times now you go on to the Zahir riwayat of Imam Yusuf or Imam Muhammad. Sometimes you'll even give fatwa on the Nawadir. That is what the ulama have done. The ulama of Tarjih previously, they chose who you must give fatwa on. So here we got the riwayat of Nawadir in front of us. We got the riwayat of Ghair Zahir. And that is because it's on the authority of Hassan bin Ziyad. Inshallah, if we do iftah, we'll do a bit more about this, right? You'll do in the Usul Iftah, what's his book's name? Rasul Mufti. They explain to you more about the different riwayats from Imam Hanifa, etc., etc. Right. So he's saying وفي ثم في رواية الحسن عن أبي حنيفة أنه نجس نجاسة غليظة اعتبارا بالماء المستعمل في النجاسة الحقيقية. سبحان الله. Right. They saying this is najis, like the heavy type of najis. That is like how you get urine, feces, sperm. It is like the heavy type of najasat. أنه نجس نجاسة غليظة. The heavy type. Why? اعتبارا بالماء المستعمل في النجاسة الحقيقية. Comparing it to water that is being used in najasat haqiqi. So they're saying same like how you use water to remove physical najasat. You got blood here, you got feces here, you got sperm here, you got anything. When you wash that away, then that water is najasat khaliza. Najasat khaliza is only tolerable to the extent of lesser than a dirham coin that's inside of your palm. If it's equal to the size of your palm, it's wajib to remove it. If it's more than the size of your palm, it is for us to move it, right? So, according to this call here, according to this call here, what he's saying is because like how you use water to remove najasat al that water becomes najasat al so too here, if you use it to remove hadath akbar, asghar, it also becomes najasat ghaliza because you're also removing a najasat even though it is najasat hukmi. Fahimta, you following, right? Then وفي رواية أبو يوسف anhu, then in another riwayat of Imam Abu Yusuf anhu, from who? From Hassan bin Ziyad. So you see there now, we got two quotes from the غير Zawahir from the Usul. There's another riwayat also from Imam Yusuf in the Nawadir, right? وهو right وفي رواية أبي يوسف عنه, and what is it? وهو قوله, it is his statement, نجاسة خفيفة. It is najasat khafifa. So you are already familiar with this. Najasat khafifa means the lighter form of najis. And I'll tell you what is najasat khafifa. Najasat khafifa is like the urine of animals which you eat them, like a goat, a sheep, a cow, a buck, a zebra, etc. بول ما يؤكل لحمه. This is considered to be the lesser type of najasat. What is the law of lesser type of najasat? Here there is more latitude. Like I told you with regard to najasat here, ghaliza, only what is lesser than the old 50 cent coin is tolerable. So you've got like, or simple words, you say the inside of your palm. So if your clothes got soiled with a little bit of blood, urine, feces, sometimes you're traveling, whatever, your underwear got messed, whatever, whatever. If it's lesser than the inside of your palm, then it is sunnah to wash it away. Even this must also applies to istinja also. That if you relieve yourself, whether front passage, back passage, if the area after relieving yourself soiled was lesser than the inside of your palm, then it's not faras to make ghusl, then it is sunnah to make ghusl. But if it is more than the inside of your palm, then it is faras to make ghusl with water, with water. So if it's lesser than the inside of your palm, you can suffice with a clod of earth, you can suffice with anything that will remove the najasat. But once more than the size of a palm, then it is faras to make ghusl, right? Anyway, that was the extra faida I gave you. So the law of najasat khafifa is that and if it's lesser than 1/4 of the area is contaminated, it's fine. And we say like what area? Like if you got your sleeve is one area. So if it covers lesser than 1/4 of your sleeve, it's fine, even though it's more than the inside of your palm. If you got, they call us in Arabic the zail. This is the zail of your kurta. Or ladies dress like the front tail, the back tail. If it is lesser than 1/4, it is tolerable. And this is najasat khafifa. And what is najasat khafifa? The urine of the animals that we are allowed to eat. Also, here it says the droppings of birds, predatory birds that you are not allowed to eat. The droppings of birds that you're allowed to eat is not najis. The droppings of bird that you're allowed to eat is not najis. And what's the proof for that? The proof for that is that throughout the ages, the the birds were allowed to roost and nest in the masajid. Nobody removed them. Nobody removed them. So that's a proof it is not najis. So we were saying, so here according to this opinion on Imam Hanifa, that my musta'amal water that has been used, right, to make wudu or to make ghusl, it is in the hukm of najasat khafifa, the lesser type of najasat, right? وقول خفيف. And then, interesting here, why is it called najasat khafifa? But before we come to that, let's say, why do you get a thing like najasat khafifa? Najasat khafifa is that najasat where the proofs are contradictory. Certain proofs of the Sharia suggest it is najis. Certain proofs suggest it is not najis. So because of the ikhtilaf, it drops down from the severer type of najasat to the lighter type of najasat. You understand what I'm saying? So when it's ikhtilaf in something, that shows it cannot be conclusively haram. It cannot be conclusively najis. So because, like you see, there are certain hadith that points to the fact that the urine of the animals that are eaten, it is not najis. Remember you done usul shashi that bawlul uradiyin, that people came to Medina and they were sick, they had skin disease. So Nabi said, go there to the camels outside Medina and drink from his milk and drink from his urine, etc. And then they drank from the milk and the urine and they became cured. Remember? Even if you look at, I think in the Maliki Madhab, or this opinion of Imam Ali, Imam Muhammad within the Hanafi Madhab also, that the urine of those animals that are halal to consume is not najis. Right? So you got certain opinions that say it is not najis, you got certain opinions that say it's najis, so there's ikhtilaf. When there's ikhtilaf in something, the seriousness of it falls away. So that is why the urine itself, we say it is najasat khafifa because of the khilaf. And same thing we say here, even the ma'i musta'mal, there is ikhtilaf in what in our own Hanafi madhab. Imam Hanifa saying it is najisul, najasat khaliza. Imam Yusuf is saying tahir, ghayr mutahhir, etc., etc., etc. See? Yes, and his other opinions on top also. So because of the ikhtilaf in the madhab, we say it cannot be considered to be najasat khaliza. It will be considered to be najasat khafifa. Like how urine, because of the contradicting context, it drops off from the najasat khaliza to najasat khafifa. Likewise, here also. Likewise, here also, we say that my musta'mal, because of the ikhtilaf, it drops down from najasat khaliza to najasat khafifa. But the fatwa of this masla here is this, I told you, is that it is tahir ghair mutahhir. That it, if it, you made wudu, you made ghusl, etc., etc., that water fell on your clothes, it will not render it najis. That one here, wa tahirun ghair mutahhir. But you cannot make another wudu with it after that. That is the fatwa, right? Are you with me so far? So now we discussed in detail here what is we discussed the law of Ma Musta'mal. We done the ikhtilaf between the different madhahib. We even done the ikhtilaf what in the Hanafi madhab, extra. But now the next discussion, what exactly is Ma'i Musta'mal? See, wal ma'ul musta'malu wa ma uzila bihadathun أو استعمل في البدن على وجه القربة. Two things. One is you either you used it to remove a hadath that we discussed earlier, or even if you never use it to remove a hadith, but you used it as what? You use it to gain sawab. Like I told you, example, you read Zohr now already, right? And you made it to do, but you are able to keep wudu right till Asr. So Asr time you say, okay, let me make a fresh wudu. There's more sawab in a fresh wudu, and you made another wudu. So that wudu was done ala wajhil ibadat. It was done as an ibadat. So even though you did not remove any hadath with it, you did not remove any hadath with it, but you done it as an ibadat. You done it as an ibadat. So there, that will also be what? Considered to be my musta'mal. So there's two things here. Remember, one is it is done to remove hadith akbar and hadith asghar. And the second one is this here. It's been used ala wajhil ibadati as an ibadat. You understood that? Okay, time is up. We will continue from there tomorrow, inshallah. Bas subhanallah wa bihamdihi. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد ان لا اله الا انت نستغفرك ونتوب اليك